Hi Stampers, I'm Meg from Loven Stamps, and I have another Foxy Friends stamp set and punch to share with you, project for those. This one is actually kind of another card that moves. It's a shaker card, and it was inspired by a card that Julie Kettlewell from the UK posted on her blog. I loved the heart shape and the way she used these little branches. So I turned my version into a shaker card, and I will give you some tips on putting this together yourself. Let's get stamping. Grab your Stampin' spots from your kit. You can use your directions or set them aside. The extra cardstock, you'll want the white sheet if you have your own builder punch. Otherwise, the pieces are cut for you and punched for you here in your packet. I've separated the cardstock pieces from the confetti, which I'm going to leave in our bag so that it's ready when we need it. So for our card, we have this heart that was die cut here for you, and with Stamps in the Mail Club, the die cuts are done for you ahead of time. But this was done with the Sweet and Sassy Heart Framelit set. I love this one. Lots of different sizes, so you always have what you need for your project. And I'm going to set aside the other pieces here so that we just have our card and our window. So for the inside part, we have our heart here, and we're going to stamp some trees on it. So I have my larger of the two trees. Doesn't really matter which one you choose, but I'm going to go ahead and ink it once, and then I'm going to stamp it 3 times. So I've got this inked. I'm going to stamp just to the side of center for the first one. Then without re-inking, I'm going to stamp a little bit higher and off to the side there. And then I'm going to stamp one more time a little bit off to the side there. Oops, and it kind of stuck. Alright, that last one's really light, but it's going to get covered up by the deer, so it's really not a big deal. Alright, so that's our background. Then what we're going to do is we are going to position this on our card front using the front cover piece. So I have my snail adhesive. I'm going to put some snail on the back of this. And then I'm not putting adhesive on the frame because what I want to do is I want to use this to line up the border around my card, and once I have that in line, then I'm going to use that to press down in the center. And then I can take this away. You always smush on the back side, right? Because you don't want to smear anything that might not be quite dry. And then we have our frame here. Now, the part that I thought was really cool was the vines around the edge that Julie did on her card. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that. What you want to do is you want to pretend that there's a line down the center of your heart. And the first vine is going to be stamped just to the side of center. And then you're going to rotate it and stamp it again off to the side there. And again, when you go back to do the next one, you're going to stamp it just to the side of center so that you're a little bit off, and then one more time here to finish that. So now we have a cute vine on top. And you can decide. On my original sample, I put the vines at the bottom too. I think I might leave this one without the vines at the bottom just for some variety. And then this is going to be built into our shaker portion. So let me show you how to do that. I'm going to flip it to the back side. Included, if you can still find it somewhere in your table, is a piece of window sheet, and the window sheet is going to get glued down here. Now, it's very hard to put adhesive on the window sheet, so my recommendation is to just go ahead and put the adhesive on your cardstock and then put your window sheet. Window sheets and adhesive grab really, really well, very tight, so you get one shot at placement. And if you got your window sheet a little off to the side or something, just snip the side because you don't want to peel it back up. They grab pretty hard. Okay, now this is the first part. The second part is these fabulous foam adhesive strips. Foam adhesive strips come longer than this. I've cut them to about the right length for you, and they come 2 sheets to a package, so you actually get a ton of square footage or whatever you want to call it. But the nice thing about these is that they're very flexible, so you can bend them. So I'm going to go ahead and pull off one of the 2 strips that's here, and I'm going to go ahead and start it. It doesn't really matter where you start it, but it'll be easiest if you start in the center here because you're going to have to go around that V. So as I go, I'm sticking and forming and bending all the way around the edge. Okay, and I made them quite a bit longer probably than you really need. Don't worry about that too much. We'll trim the second one to match. So here we have this. I'm going to slide this just into the corner there so that it butts up. I left a little space there. I tell you I did that on purpose, but it was just a happy thing. And then I'm just going to bend this and adhere as we go around the corner. And the adhesive on these foam strips is terrific. Now this one, I have quite a bit of overlap at the end, so I'm going to grab my scissors and just trim that so that it butts right up to the other piece right there. Now you can do this a couple ways. I actually really like to put my glitter on the card portion that's going to stay flat. You want to flip up all those little white pieces so that the silver metallic foil paper shows. And this was all punched for you ahead of time with the confetti heart punch, which makes great borders and also, haha, great confetti. Okay, so slide that all in there so that it's set, and then go ahead and peel the strips from the layer of your shaker card, the top layer. And the nice thing about doing it this way is that you can see what you're doing. Oh my goodness, and I almost forgot. You want to go ahead and, especially if your ribbon goes down so far like mine, make sure your ribbon is adhered before, otherwise you won't be able to get it under the under that stickiness. So I'm going to go ahead and put that under there too. Alright, so now I'm going to bring this straight down and I'm kind of actually watching the frame around the outside of my card here more than even the center. But now we have our confetti trapped in there with our trees. Cute, huh? And then that ribbon that I at the last second remembered to include, I'm just going to go ahead and tie this with a bow down here at the bottom corner. Alright. And then, because bows always look cutest when they have the right proportion to their little ribbon tails, then I'm going to close those down, just a little bit more, make those a little smaller, and then trim my ends. Alright. Okay, now the thing that our card needs is a cute animal, don't you think? So I'm going to start here. We're going to build this on a piece of vellum cardstock, and I like the vellum because it doesn't cover up as much of our shaker as a regular cardstock piece would. So let's grab our pre-punched pieces here. If you don't have the Fox Builder punch, or you can go ahead and grab a strip of cardstock if you want to use your own punch to punch out the pieces. So I'll show you how to do that. When the stamp is bigger than the spot, I like to ink upside down, and I'm missing like a little spot there. Okay, so I'm going to stamp him once near the edge of the cardstock, because the body is actually upside down on the punch, and then I'm going to ink the same guy again, and because I just want his head really this time. And the head is going to go this direction. I'm doing them a little bit further apart so that I have space to do the punching. So here is our body piece, and I'm just going to line that up, and oops, there we go. Go ahead and punch him, and go ahead and punch all the way through. And then I'm going to slide this down to get our little deer head. Isn't he cute? Alright, we got that lined up. Okay, so now we have those two pieces that we need. The other, there we go. The other piece that you'll want to stamp from your scratch paper is the little antlers piece, and I thought that I mounted that stamp. Let me grab it here from my package. This stamp set has so many stamps in it. Oh, and I've been saving some pieces there. See, figure extra pieces that I would want to grab later, I can get later. Okay, so here is our antler piece. And got a block handy. Let's see, I think we're done with the branches. And go ahead and mount those. And I'm going to stamp these in the smoky slate color. And you're actually going to take a pair of scissors and cut around these. Remember to keep your scissors in one spot and turn your paper so that you get a nice smooth edge. Okay, so we have our pieces, and I'm going to stamp, ta-da, the little fox legs there. It's not a fox though, it's a deer. That's why it has antlers. And then I'm going to grab this little mask piece, kind of that you would use for maybe the raccoon or other things. And this, I think, is what makes his face look very deer-like. I'm going to line this up at the very bottom edge and just roll it forward there. And that's really what helps me to get our lined up image there. Now for the eyes, if you want to stamp off to stamp this in Smoky Slate, then you can get the eyes on there also in the Smoky Slate, but I'm going to grab my archival black, or you could use Memento black, and I'm going to stamp his face on there so that it's just a little bit darker. Okay, all right, then this needs a Stampin' Dimensional, of course. So I'm just going to set this, let's see, first things first. Let's go ahead and attach our body to our piece of vellum. Then I'm going to put the dimensional on there like that. I'm going to put some adhesive on the back of our deer's head. And I'm going to bring this up from the front so that that attaches there. There we go. And then this little piece gets attached here on the front of our card. So there's our cute little deer. We'll bring our card back here and attach this, and it's easier to get the adhesive to stick to the paper than to the vellum. So I'm going to go ahead and stick him down that way. And there is our finished deer shaker card. So there's two versions. There's the one without the little leaves at the bottom, and there's the one with the leaves at the bottom. Whatever you like better. If you would like to request your Stamps in the Mail Club kit, it's not too late. Contact me to see if I have any August kits left, and I would be happy to get one in the mail to you. If you already own the stamp set or the ink colors, you can swap those for any other Stampin' Up! Product that's currently available that you would like. So happy stamping, thank you for watching, and watch for my other 3 Foxy Friends video tutorials. Happy stamping!